There we go. No. Maybe that was the wrong screw. Let me try another screw here. There we go. Not seated correctly there. Now if I wasn't filming this, I could just snap that right in there and have with no problem. Okay, there we go. And just make sure it's nice and snug. Alright. Then we'll do it on the other side. Okay, same thing with this screw. Just tighten it back up. Put this screw back in there like that. And you've got your head back on. There's one other place right here we're going to oil. This little bar that goes back and forth. Just make sure that this one's got kind of fuzz on there. Make sure there's no fuzz on there. And just kind of put a drop of oil on there like that. And this first little hole here, this isn't an oil hole. Just put one little drop in there like that. That keeps, so it'll go back and forth smoothly. Another place that we're going to be cleaning is your tension spools. Okay, your little tension guides here for your thread. You have your thread comes through different tension. You can easily just take these off just like this, because dirt and debris and fuzz, because your thread is fuzzy and it goes through all these, and every time it goes through something, a little more fuzz comes off of it before it gets to the needle. So we need to make sure all of the fuzz and stuff is out. And you have a little spring, and then you have two little flat discs. You just need to make sure that those two little discs are clean. Clean that one off, and then clean that one, clean around here, and then put those back just like that. You don't have to take them off. I do it at least, you know, every 6 months or so. But you can also take the little dental thing and run up underneath here like that. That's probably the easiest to do, is just run it up underneath here like this and get all the dirt and stuff out of there. And then you just put your little spring, and I've got my tension on backwards. The little disc has got a little rounded edge. They go together like that. Put your little spring back on. I know some of you are afraid to mess with the tension if you don't, because this will mess the tension up, and the first time you use it you'll have to reset it. So if you don't want to mess with it, I'm used to taking them off and putting them back, so it doesn't bother me to do it. The next place you'll need to clean, where the first place the thread comes through, are these little things right here. So those will also need to be cleaned out in there, and I do this weekly because this is the first place your thread comes through, is through these little guides here, and they do get pretty fuzzy up underneath there. So just take your little tool here and get up underneath there and clean those off. And then you want to just, you know, kind of wipe down your spool stand and everything. This is how you clean and oil the machine. The last thing you need to do is to put your needles back in and then re-thread it. Excuse me while I fix this so you can see what I'm doing. And you want to replace the little spring that we took out. So, screwdriver. And the other screw. Get them on there nice and snugly. All right. Now on the front of this machine, there's a little thing right here that shows a needle. This is the size, this is the kind of needle that goes into these machines. And they're called Origin needles. I get mine from All Stitch. They come in a pack. There's 10 packs of 10 needles, so you get 100 needles, and they're really reasonable. And you will go. It takes me about a year to go through them. Then you want to replace your needles, put in new needles, and then rethread it. A lot of people are saying, you know, talking about the groove and everything on your needle. There is one long groove in the needle. This is the front of your needle. The back of it has a little indentation. I don't know if you can see this little indentation right here. That is called the scarf. This is supposed to go to the back of the machine, you know, it goes to the back. I use a little pair of needle nose pliers to hold it securely. And I put my needle back in there and make sure it's straight in the front. I'll tighten it a little bit, then I take another needle and put in the hole and make sure it's straight on, and then tighten it down. And you do the same with all of the needles. I'm going to show you how to thread this. Some of you may be new to the machine and you want to make sure you are properly threading it. So, where'd my thread go? Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me run and let me grab my thread. Okay, here we go. Here's your spool of thread. The first you go through is this little eye here. It goes up through the top here. It's not easy doing this one-handed. Okay. Goes through the top of the little eye, then under that little lever. Make sure that you have your tension lever pushed to the back. That opens your tension spools here. Then put your thread in this little hole back here. And on the machine, it has these little arrows. So these two are going to go to the left of your tension and around to the right side of this little pin on these two. On the first two, it's opposite. It's going to go around the front and this way. That's the way those should go. That's for the proper tensioning. When you get down here, sorry, when you have gone through both of the tension guides, okay, I'm sorry, I had to reposition this. When you go through the tension guides, hang on to the back of it here and make sure it goes down into your tension spring and kind of move it back and forth. That is going to seat it. Make sure it's down in to your tension. And then you finish threading it, going down to the hole. Make sure it goes through the little hole in the spring down here. This little spring right here is also for your tension. This little spring right here, make sure it goes through that hole. Come back here, thread. Make sure it goes through that little hole right there. Then up. Up to this other little hole. Whoops. Can't very well do that one-handed. Let me see if I can put it back here like this. Okay. Back up through this hole. Through the hole in your take-up lever. Make sure that sometimes your thread will be over on this side. Make sure it's always on the right side of your take-up lever. Through the hole and down through the last hole here. And down to the hole, and then go ahead and rethread the needle. I hope this has helped you and how to understand some of the machine and how it you oil it and everything. It's not that difficult to take it off. Like I said, if you don't feel comfortable taking it apart and doing it, don't do it. So thanks for watching, and I will be back with a new video soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.